Hello guys, it's Vian from FOREX Trading, and I'm going to be going over some FOREX pairs for looking for trading opportunities going into next week, the first week of September. So I actually just started recording this video, and then I realized I wasn't recording this video, and I was just talking to myself for about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go through the pairs. Luckily I realized quite early, so we should be good now. I think it's recording. So I'm going to start on Euro New Zealand. There's two views on this that I have. The first is more bullish. The second is also bullish, but short-term bearish. So the bullish one is that we've got a wave 1 here, wave 2 here, and then we're looking to make this wave 3 here. We haven't completed this wave 3. We actually have 1, 2, 3, 4, looking for 4 and then 5 to make 3 overall. The reason I don't really like that view is this, to me, is really weird. It's like a expanding flat, but wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, which doesn't make sense. But if I was going to have to force a count, that's what it would have to be, because otherwise this entire pattern doesn't work. But the other count I have is that this is actually a 3-wave move here. I think I label it as a W on my other chart, but that would mean that this yellow scenario would play out, which would mean that this wave is now completed for X here, and we're getting an expanding flat. So W, X, Y, which should take us to at least this level here. So I'm bearish going into next week because we either need this wave 4 to complete here, or this wave of Y to complete. And in either case, the direction is down, right? So if I go down to the 1 hour chart, have a quick look here. It's broken this really nice trend line here. Just acted as support numerous times, as you can see here. We've broken it, made a consolidation pattern. This is perfect for seeing a reversal from this top here. Really strong candle, as you can see, and yeah, so I'm expecting the reversal now. I'm going to look to sell on the break of this consolidation. This is the minimum level that I see it going to, which is a 1-to-1 extension. Also, if this were to be some kind of expanded flat, this would be the minimum level. However, if you're looking for slightly more extended targets, there's 236 or the 382, and if you look at it in the bearish way, all the way down to this level here, which is just under 1.525. So, which is the start of wave X here. So it depends how price action plays out. It would be a good idea to trail your stops, or just trade the moves down as they come and keep on taking profit as the pullback takes place. So it just depends on how you look at this. But I'm definitely going to get a short position in at least one next week. Okay, EURCAD. This one I've got a proper labeling on my other chart. This is just my chart for doing the weekend analysis on. But basically we've got this A wave, then we've had A, B, C, D, and then we're looking for E to complete B to find C. Making this B wave a contracting triangle. It's got all the characteristics of a contracting triangle. Everything's been in threes here, as you can see. And now this final wave is in a 3 as well. Would expect the C wave to terminate on this trend line here, as the A wave and C wave has. But just bear in mind, sometimes E waves truncate, so this 1.0 extension of W is also a valid option. I have a trading journal. It's important for all traders to keep one, to keep track of not only your data, but also you're losing trades. You can learn a lot from them, and if you see a pattern in each one of your losses, then you can actually, when in live trading, when you see that pattern come up, you could exit your position early, but you'd have to test that. I'm currently filling all mine in, filling my journal in, and obviously I want about 100 trades at least before I start analyzing the data, and I've only just started that journal. I've only got 5 trades in it, so I don't have enough data quite yet. But anyway, in the journal, I said to short from this area from the moment it breaks this A here. But I wasn't around, or I think I missed the trade. However, we did get the down move I was expecting, so look for any kind of consolidation pattern for the sell down into the trend line as a maximum. After it gets to the trend line, obviously that's going to be an extremely good buy, which you could hold for quite a while. But I'll have to have a look at how it reacts off this level, because this could turn into a different pattern, of course. Let me just have a look at my notes. Okay, Euro, Great British Pound next. This one's been quite interesting, and I've also, just like Euro New Zealand, I've got 2 basic views on it. Basically the same thing as Euro New Zealand, actually. One is the bullish view, 1, 2, 3, which extends, 4, 5. Now the tricky thing is counting this wave up. It could be counted as 5 almost done, but well, it could be done. It's just basically a hard wave to count. That's why I'm using trend lines to. So if it were to be done, then I'd look for this trend line to be broken, a flag, and then the sell. So I'm not just selling blindly, which I advise not doing. But anyway, the bearish view is also a 1, 2, 3 here as well, but then we've got A or W, B or X, and then C or Y for an expanding flat, just like Euro New Zealand. So I've got the notes here. Maybe one more up, if so buy a flag. If the trend line is broken, look for flag and sell. I'd look for a sell to at least this trend line here. However, depending on price action, I could possibly hold it to this low here for the expanded flat view. However, this one is just going to depend on this trend line, basically, and seeing how this price reacts to this 38.2 level, because if it breaks through this, makes a small flag, keeps going, I don't see it reversing. That would be wave 4, wave 5, and then look for the reversal going into late this week or possibly next week. Let me just see if I have any other euro pairs to go over. Doesn't look like it. Let's go to the pound pairs. Great British Pound, Australian dollar. Now this one's probably my favourite setup going into next week. So again, this isn't my main chart, but this has the basic structure on it. This can be counted as 5 waves down here. and then we've got this A, B, C, which I'm expecting not to be wave 2 or whatever, but as a W, for the reason that this looks like 3 waves down, and that means X is going to complete soon, and obviously after X, buying for Y is definitely a good idea. This is a good zone here to look for targets. It could obviously extend, it could truncate, but this is a generally a good zone for the target. Also this trend line here. So we're gonna have to see about how it plays out next week. But I've got this as A, B, C, with C as an ending diagonal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, one more low, buy. I'm going to be pretty aggressive on this one and buy on the break of this upper trend line, and then a small flag on the either 15-minute chart or 30-minute chart, something like that. I'll buy on the break of that. Again, you notice that I don't just enter blindly. If you were to be ultra aggressive, in my view, you could put some kind of buy limit here, and then a stop 1 pip, or on 1, the 1.0 extension of this wave 3 within the ending diagonal, because wave 5 can't be longer than wave 3. Target, that's 1. That'd be a nice 7.8 risk reward ratio. However, buying on a flag might actually get you a bigger risk reward ratio, because your stop will be tighter as it will go just below the flag. Something like this, possibly, and then targets at the top. Of course, you could add to your previous trade. That's a 1 to 21 almost. So you can just keep on adding on the way up, depending on how it plays out. The interesting thing I've noticed about this chart, this is quite weird, but what it does, I've noticed, is that you see this kind of leading diagonal pattern here, and then all of a sudden it makes a small wave 2 drop, and then wave 3 and 4 here. So it kind of goes like this, really sharp correction here. You see all green candles, and then straight after we see an engulfing candle, and then a drop again. Now I've noticed this happening quite a few times. If I go over to the 4-hour chart and go back in time here, look at this. Leading diagonal, small wave 2, drop, quick sharp correction up here, and then sharp drop once more. And this could be happening now, present time, on the daily chart, I think it was. Here it is again. Drop, sharp correction, drop again. So you have to look at kind of the personality of different charts in order to get better trades. And I know, looking at this pattern, that it's now likely to reverse, and that's the fractals of the market coming into play as well. So that's pound Australian dollar. I also have pound Swiss franc. Let me have a look here. So I'm looking for a buy going into next week, and then possibly a sell once it breaks this trend line here. So the sentiment, I think, the percent of retail traders going long is, I think, 80, just above 80%, 80.5%, something like that. So it is open to reversal now. However, I think it's just going to make this consolidation pattern one more up to complete 5, and then that should be Y done. 1.0 extension of W will actually bring us into slightly higher levels. So we're going to have to see, because this could be seen as like ABC here and then the drop, but if this is 5 up like this, we'd then see the B wave and then another 5 here and then the drop. So we're going to have to just watch this one. But I'm looking for a possible short-term buy into next week, or a sell break of this trend line here. That's basically it for this pair. I think let's go to US dollar pairs now. Alright, dollar CAD. This one I had an okay trade on last week. I bought here. However, I was expecting it to go to this top, so I held it, and I had a stop slightly in profit, which got hit during NFP. So I wasn't during NFP. I should have closed the trade up here, but I was hoping that I could maybe get a spike before a reversal. However, that didn't happen. But I'm not going to complain about making profit. So my view's still the same. For the kind of bullish, short-term bullish view, this is an expanded flat. So A, B, C, or WXY, however you label it. That would mean that 1.382 extension of A here, or W, would is this level here, which would look for, which you could look for short-term buys. But I think what we need to do is this could become quite bearish. For example, if this is a leading diagonal, this is a wave 2, we could now see wave 3, and or it could just even extend. Wave 3 could even extend, so we could get like a 1. We could have a 1-2-1-2 pattern. So be very careful looking for buys. That's why I will only buy if I see a really clear 5-wave impulse with a 3-wave correction. Buy that flag. That's what I'll be doing. This level is the target, and once it gets hit, just take it off. It's not worth trying to hold it or letting it run. That's where it will reverse, or is very likely to reverse. Okay, dollar Norwegian krone. This one, I think I need to go to my other chart for. So just give me a second. Okay. Now, I've been labeling this one quite a lot, and it has been paying off. So I've got this 5 waves up from the low here, and during NFP I was not very confident, because I thought maybe it would spike and then break the low. However, this low is now still unbroken, and this gives quite a nice 3-wave pattern here, which is good if you want to look for bullish opportunities, which I originally anticipated when it was actually still here in wave 3. So the way I'm looking at this is I'm going to go on the 30-minute chart and look for a flag breakout here. Possibly set some kind of order limit in case it just goes, because this pair just goes sometimes without giving you an opportunity to get into the trades. So I'll set an order limit here, but if it does break on with a strong candle, sort of like this one, this white candle here, then that's a buy for me up into this one extension, possibly 1.236. But after it gets there, just take targets, take profit. This does have the opportunity to run, however, just I'm going to take profit, and if it does continue running, just get new positions in. I don't think it's worth holding, because I think the correction is probably going to come up to this level, but this will probably turn into 3 waves, and then we'll get an X wave and another 3 waves. So I don't like the idea of just holding, because stops would be wide, and it could still reverse, make one more low, and then do that. That's it for the US dollar pairs. Now I want to have a look at some, I think, some yen pairs. So let's have a look at Australian dollar yen. I'm just going to go back to my other chart. Oh, I might have to go back to that chart. Yep, sorry. Actually, I'll just quickly do Australian dollar New Zealand. So this is not my main chart again, but I'm looking at, this is the other option. I've been not wanting to count this, but the more this rises so aggressively, the more I think I will have to accept this view. So if this isn't, hold on, let me switch color, sorry. So if this is an A here, this would be a 3-wave correction down, and would be looking at this as a leading, either a leading diagonal or something along those lines, because it would still have to, I think, come above this. So it is really weird, but I think I might there still might be a shorting opportunity at the break of this trend line for either wave 2 or for the other view, which is basically Y, wave Y down into here. So very strange pair. Australian dollar pairs are very strange. Okay, let's go to CAD yen, and then I'll go to AUD yen. This pair I've noticed a nice pattern on. If you have a look back in 2009, 2010, there was, after the 5 waves down here, there was a 3-wave correction, which turned out to be a W. And wave B was actually a triangle, as you can see, in my opinion anyway. Now, after this high here, guess what we've had? Possibly a 5 down, and we've also had this A correction. And look, if I use this white line, if I line up on the top of A here, it actually is in a very, very similar zone to where this the new A is. And then look what we've had. We've had this pullback, we've had the pullback here, then we've had sharp move up here, sharp move up here, and then we're now looking for this wave down. So it is possible that if it does repeat this, we'd be looking at another move down here, and then possibly another triangle in B. My other view is simply that this is A again, we've already had B, and that we're making 5 up for C now. Both views are okay, but we'll have to see how it plays out. But I noticed that and I thought it was quite interesting, so I thought I'd like to share it. if it is repeating that other pattern, then I think shorting on a break of this trend line would be a good idea. So, okay, now let's go to Australian dollar, Japanese yen, and that will be the final pair for this video. Okay. So I quite like this pair here, the setup it's making. So it looks like either 5 up or W wave. 3 wave correction here for an expanding flat, which would take us down to the same, this level here, this W. Sorry, that's a bad color. To this level here, where W previously ended here. So that would mean that we're now looking at selling a correction. The setup looks good because this has been quite impulsive down, sharp down move, and this is much more corrective. Looking at, there's a lot of Fibonacci confluence in this zone, so I'm probably gonna wait for it to touch one of these, make a small flag and sell. If it turns out to be WXY instead, like this, with W as being ABC, X as ABC, and Y simply as ABC like this, then, hold on, let me just get rid of these ads. Then we'd also be getting this bearish opportunity, which should actually take us much lower. So, as you can see, my plans here, if this trend line's broken, in the 4-hour chart, look for a flag and sell. Simple. But slightly higher first. If it breaks now, then I'll probably wait a bit more, maybe pull more of a conservative trend line like this, and then sell. You could sell it down to this trend line for if you're being very conservative, and then move stops into profit. That is probably not a bad idea actually. However, I'm probably going to hold it down to this level at least. That'd be a big trade. And I think that's it for the weekend analysis. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any comments or you'd like to say anything, show any of your charts, then give us an email at forextrading260@gmail.com, or visit our website and fill in the form, or just simply leave a comment in this YouTube video. Please check out our website for free educational courses, and we're now actually doing personalized one-to-one training. We're already working with 2 people, and we've only had this training going for I think 2 days. So, and we haven't even advertised it yet. So have a look at that if you'd be interested in improving your trading skill. And thank you very much. Bye.